Hey, welcome. So we're going to do something a little different today. We're taking what looks like a super simple vocabulary list, I'm talking third grade level, and we're going to crack it open. Because believe it or not, hidden inside is basically the blueprint for all of storytelling. Seriously. Okay, let's jump in.
Yeah, I know. It sounds a little crazy, right? 10 simple words explaining the entire art of narrative. But what if I told you that in this short list, you can find everything? Plot, character, setting, even some pretty complex ideas about society. That's the big question we're tackling.
So, here's our mission. We're looking at a vocab list that goes with a story called Little Duck. But we're not just going to memorize definitions. Nope, we're going to treat these words like clues, like pieces of a puzzle, to decode the basic building blocks that make any story work.
All right, first things first, let's look at the two words that are, and I mean this, the absolute foundation of any good story. Think of these two as the engine, the thing that makes the whole narrative go.
Every single story you've ever loved starts, in one way or another, with why. It's the ultimate hook. It's that little spark of curiosity that opens up a gap in our understanding, and we just have to know the answer. Why did she go there? Why is the world like this? This one little word is basically the promise that a story is about to unfold.
And you can't have one without the other. Look at this. It's a perfect partnership. If why is the question that kicks the door open, its partner is the word that actually shows us what's inside. They are two sides of the exact same coin, the coin of causality.
And here it is, because. This is the payoff. It's the word that gives us the reason, the logic, the consequence. It's the word that makes good on the promise that why made to us. Because connects the dots. Without it, a story is just, well, it's just a list of things that happened for no reason at all.
Okay, so we've got our story's engine running. Now let's move on. Let's see how a story can start to paint a picture, build a world, and introduce a character using just a few really simple, elegant words.
Every story has to start somewhere, right? It needs that one moment that kicks everything off. And Hatch is perfect. It's pure action. It's a moment of creation, of something new appearing in the world. Just like that, our scene is set. The story has begun.
But, an action is just an action. It doesn't become a story until it happens to someone. And that is where Duckling comes in. Boom, we have our protagonist. All of a sudden, that abstract idea of hatching has a main character, someone we can actually focus on and follow.
Now this is where it gets really clever. The word feather is like the storyteller zooming the camera in for a close-up. It's a tiny, sensory detail. Is it crucial for the plot? Not really. But does it make the duckling and its world feel real, something you can almost touch? Absolutely. It adds texture.
So let's just pause and look at what we've built. In just 3 words from our list, we have a complete little story, a whole narrative moment. We've got an action that starts it all, a character to live through it, and a specific detail that makes the whole scene pop. Pretty cool, huh?
All right, let's keep building. A story can't just be a static image. It has to move. It has to have momentum. These next few words show us how narratives create that forward motion, that sense of cause, effect, and time passing.
Just look at this sequence. It's so clear. First, you have a condition, a problem. It's cold. That condition creates the motivation for a reaction. You get out. And then the word after puts it all in order. This is plot 101. It's cause, it's effect, it's sequence. Something happens which makes something else happen. Later.
And then we get this word, which is so fascinating. Swaddle. Think about it. In a list that's all about a duckling and the natural world, suddenly we have this deeply human action. It's an act of care, of tenderness. It's kind of an outlier, and it hints that maybe our story is about to bridge 2 different worlds, the animal and the human.
And that leads us perfectly to our final and maybe most complex word on the list. This is where we see language evolve from just describing the physical world to actually creating the invisible structures of human society.
Okay, look at all the work the word sold is doing here. It's incredible. That one word implies a whole social contract. It tells us about the idea of ownership, that the bike was hers to sell. It implies commerce, money, value, and even a social relationship between 2 people, neighbors. This one word builds a world that is way more complex than the duckling's pond.
So what does this all mean? It means that even the simplest words we choose are absolutely packed with narrative power. They create cause and effect, they build characters, they paint scenes, and they construct entire social worlds. This little vocabulary list is basically a masterclass in how to tell a story. And it leaves us with a pretty big question, right? If these 10 little words can do all of that, what kind of story are you building word by word in your own life?